Hi guys, I'm coming to you fresh from Tribe Day from yesterday, which is now called Learn, Love, Inspire Day, and it's an education day that it's pretty much like a speed dating for oils. So one of the things that I did was talk about how to do a US order. A lot of people are a little bit iffy about doing a US order. They're a bit scared they're going to muck it up, but I can honestly say it's very easy. Once you've done it once or twice, you'll wonder why you were even worried about it in the first place. Okay, so if you're doing an Australian order, when you log into your account, you don't need to do anything because you're defaulted to Australia already. But if you're doing a US order, all you need to do is toggle it over to the US website. And the way that you do that is after you've logged in, on the right hand side, there is this. Okay, so you'll see on one side it says Australian order, and the other side, if you press on that, it says US, and that will take you, it's probably back to front, sorry, in the video, but it says US and it will take you into the US website. That's how easy it is. Literally, that's all you have to do to get in to find out. You can play around with prices, or you can purchase any items from the US. Now, so after you sign in, you switch over to the US, and there's two things, right? So basically, if you're the type of person that goes in and just does a normal order and then you purchase it and that's it, that's completely fine. You can continue doing that as well. However, if you're a loyalty reward program holder, you're going to want to and you're going to need to create another template. Now, to create another template, all you need to do is go further down and see where it says create template in purple. So you just press on that, like you would have done when you did your original Australian order, and you select a date. Now, generally, if you're doing a US order, it's usually because you're going in to ship it straight away. However, you can do it like an Australian order. You can go in and set any particular date that you want to set. That's no problem at all. You can do that the same. But as I said, usually people do that because they're going to be purchasing on that day. So then you go in and you find whatever products you want to find. It's good to have a little play around to see what they've got. But once you've played around with it, there's going to be a few things that you want to take into consideration when doing a US order. It's going to sound a little bit doom and gloom at first, but I'll bring it back to the whole positives and show you how many amazing products and things we have in the US. Okay, so this is pretty obvious statement to make, but people do get caught out. So basically, one thing you really need to consider is the US conversion rate of the day. So some days may be better than others, or some months may be better than others. So make sure you take that into account. Some things may look really cheap, and by the time you've paid for everything, it ends up being a lot more expensive. So you need to take that into account on some occasions. Now, doTERRA also have their own essential oils Facebook page. So they have that for Australia, they have it for Europe, and they have it for US. Pretty much every country that has their own warehouse has got a Facebook page. Now, it's really good to be a part of the US Facebook page because it's brilliant for DIYs and for keeping you up to date with specials and to give you information on particular oils. However, what you need to consider when they do announce specials or products and give you a price, that's the base price. And the reason that's the base price before any kind of taxes is, like in Australia, US also have lots of different taxes. Now, each state have their own taxes. So they couldn't quite possibly, with the amount of states they've got, quite possibly go in and list a price for every state, every country. So that's why they always list the base price. And then when you go in to purchase it, it will actually show you before you actually hit purchase. But when you go in to actually buy it on your account, that's where you'll see the correct US price. Now, when you go into your cart, when you're reviewing your cart at the end, it will be in US dollars. It will not be in Australian dollars because it is a US website. So you need to consider that as well. Now, once you go in and see an item you like, it will be in the correct amount for US dollars because we've logged in as ourselves. So they know we're from Australia. They know that they need to add an import tax onto it. So that's all included, that's fine. However, it's not till we get to the end of the review cart that you will see that there's GST that gets added on. And of course, the Australian government used to allow up to $1,000 that you didn't get charged GST, but that's not the case now. So whether you buy from Amazon or eBay or doTERRA, you're going to get charged the 10% GST on the end as well. So that's one other thing you need to consider. Now, one extra fee that you need to consider as well, that 90% of the banks charge, apparently ING may not, but a lot of the other banks do. Once you've made your purchase, you'll notice that an extra charge gets charged on by the bank as a separate amount. It is only a small amount, but it's a separate amount that they charge for converting it to Australian dollars. It's a silly fee, but some of them do charge that. Now, one of the other things you need to consider is they've got different plugs. So if you do decide to buy one of their gorgeous diffusers that we don't have all of them in Australia yet. So if you decide to buy one of their diffusers with one of their packs or on its own or anything like that, you need to remember that some of them do have the US plugs. Not all of them do. Some of them have the USB, which is great because we don't have to worry about adding a conversion plug when we get to Australia. Those converted plugs you can pretty much buy anywhere, but it's just a matter of whether you want to have that extra plug in your wall, that's all. Now, the postage from the US usually takes about 2 weeks rather than what we're used to, about 2 to 3 days. And as an LRP or a Loyalty Rewards program member, you would know that in Australia you get charged $7.95. Now you get 8 points for that. So in essence, that's making your postage for free with Loyalty Reward program. However, in the US, your postage does not get calculated and you're not given points for that, okay? So you just pay the postage amount and you don't get points for the postage. You do get points for the oils and products, but just not the postage. Now, the reason for that is because our postage, or doTERRA, heavily subsidise our postage for us. It's a massive subsidy, and it doesn't matter how much we spend or how big the package is, it's always going to be $13.95 US. That's a massive, massive saving. I don't know if any of you have bought from the US lately, but they charge an arm and a leg. It's absolutely ridiculous to get anything posted from the US. So that's the reasoning behind them not giving us points for our postage. Okay, now some of our items, there's quite a few items, particularly in the supplement range, that we just simply don't have in Australia as yet. Now I say as yet because we are working on it. It's something we're working on at the moment with the Australian government. We need to actually make them in Australia ourselves. So that's the delay. There's a lot of red tape with Australia, so that's what we're working on at the moment. As soon as we can get those supplements to Australia, it will be amazing. But in the meantime, besides the lifelong vitality and there's one other. Besides those two lots, we can't get them in Australia as yet. So the only way to get it is to order from the US. So it does make it worth it, I promise you, because they have got some amazing supplements over there that we don't have here at the moment yet. Now, one other thing you need to consider when you do a US order, when you're a Loyalty Rewards program holder, is that once you've created your template and you've bought everything, you need to take into consideration now you've got 2 templates running. So once it's been bought, and if you don't intend on having that follow on again the next month, so if you don't want it to run again in the US, then what you need to do once you receive your receipt to say that it's all processed and it's all completely fine, go in and cancel that template. And that way you've only got the 1 template running, which is your Australian template. Now, there's only one other step you'll need to do after that. Now, you will need to go into your Australian template and change the date to the month after. Why, you ask? Well, the reason behind that is normally when you do an Australian order, your template recognises that you've done an order for that month. So therefore, once you've done the order, it automatically changes it for you to the next month. But because you haven't made an Australian order this month, you've made the US order, it doesn't recognise you've done the order, so it will process that this month for you, as well as your US one, if you don't change it to the month after. Now, if you need help with changing any of those, and I'm your representative, just shoot me a message and I'm quite happy to run through it with you. Otherwise, contact the person that signed you up in the first place and they'll be happy to go through and explain all this for you as well. Okay. Now, with all of that, people say, well, why would I do a US order? It sounds like a big thing to do. It really isn't. After you've done one or two, it's an absolute breeze. And when you see the amount of products that you can get from the US, it's amazing. Okay, so this will give you just a little tiny bit of an idea on the amount of products we have in the US that you cannot get in Australia's yet. Can you see that? That's a lot of products. There's a mixture between oils and oil touches and bulk products and lots of supplements. There's lozenges as well, a baby collection. It's incredible. There are a lot there. One of the ones I wanted to show you, talk to you about, is our kids line. Now this came out last year and it's such a great line of kids oils that also, because you get this little bag with it, and I have had quite a few people that buy it for their children for Christmas or their birthdays and things because their kids are so into their oils and they love it. So see this. This actually runs through and easily explains to the children why they would use each particular oil. One is for calmer, you've got a stronger, rescuer. So what this does is this empowers your child to know which oils to use. So they're growing up in circumstances knowing how to use natural medicine rather than reaching for modern day medicine. And of course, modern day medicine has its place in our life this day and age as well. But can you imagine if you had been able to grow up and being able to empower yourself using your own oils, having your own oils, and the kids get so excited having these. It's just incredible. And one of the new things out of our convention kit is a new kids oil, which wasn't previously out. Now, all the kids oils come with this little tab thing as well. I know it's not going to come off. This little thing so that they can hang it on their school bag. How cool is that? So they can take it to school with them. They've always got an oil on them. The new one that they've brought in is called Tamer. Now it's basically it's a digesting blend. It's a tummy tamer. So if they're getting car sick or sore stomachs or anything like that, any kind of bloating, whatever it is, any kind of sickness like that, this is what they would use this oil for. So this is added to the kids collection now. They've got so many. These can also just be all bought individually. So if there's one particular oil that you know your child's going to use, you can reach for that. Now, they also have bulk items too. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but I use the Ice Blue Rub quite often for achy shoulders. Lots of athletes like to use Ice Blue. It's called something else in the States. It's called Deep Blue. Lots of people use this on a day-to-day basis. And in the States, you can buy this by the pump. You can buy it by a 1 litre pump. So if you're a sporting club or just a sporting family, it's a really, really handy way to get it. And it's cheaper, of course, because you're buying it in bulk. So that's another great reason to buy from the US. Now, the US also have different monthly promotions. So their product of the month could be different to our product of the month. So they may be getting a free oil that you really, really want to get. So you think, well, this month I'm going to make a US order instead of an Australian order so I can get that free oil. Now, you can only get one free oil. So whichever order you process first, whether it be US or Australia, that's the one that you're going to get the free oil for. So be careful with that. You can't get the 2 free oils. However, if they have a 200 PV promotion in the States, you can access that. Sometimes they have a 200 PV promotion in the States at the same time as they have it in Australia. So in that case, you can buy up to 4 of the promotions, and I'm talking each country. So you can buy 8 promotions. So you can buy 4 promotions in the US and 4 promotions in Australia. So that would mean 800, if you spent 800 PV in the US and 800 PV in Australia, you would receive 4 lots from Australia and 4 lots from the US as well. So that's pretty amazing, right? Another thing you can access, and it's happening this week, is BOGO. So if you happen to see a really great BOGO deal in the US, you can access their BOGO deals and our BOGO deals. So that's pretty amazing. Now, the only thing, as I said before, you've got to take into consideration that they've got $13.95 US postage. So why not get together with a group of 5 friends, because it does run over 5 days in the US. The Australian one's a little bit different this year, and I'll be going through that tomorrow in a separate video. But why don't you get together with a group of 5 friends? One friend does an order each day, so then they get the points for one day, you'll get the points for another day, and you're only paying one lot of postage each time. Or get one person to do the order all 5 days, and then everybody pays for the shares on the postage, but it just means that you get all the points. It's a great way to take advantage of it all, because I'm pretty sure you can buy up to 5. Usually with the BOGOs, sometimes it's not the case, but usually with BOGOs you can buy up to 5 of each deal. So if they're giving away, if you have to buy an On Guard and get an Easy Air for free, you would get 5 On Guard and 5 Easy Air. So you get the 5 Easy Air for free. So being able to access their BOGOs as well as our BOGOs as well is incredible. You need to know that it's only Australia, New Zealand, and I think one other country that has access to not only their own country, but the US. And the US people get really jealous of some of the deals that we have down under, and they have some pretty amazing deal too, but we get access to both. They only get access to the US. So you got to realize we're super, super lucky to have this kind of access. So if you're not utilizing it, you're really missing out on some crazy, crazy, amazing deals. And if you need any help, you only need to ask the person that you signed up with. We'll be more than happy to go through how to do this exactly. We'll sit with you, go through with you on Skype. No matter how we have to do it to help you, once you've done it once, you'll be fine. Okay. What else we got? Oh yes, so the US had, we get to keep up to date with all the latest oils too. And generally it's always the US that bring out the latest oils. So when they have their US convention, there's always a big hoo-ha about getting their convention kit. Everybody wants to get hold of it. And we have that access. So after the US, so they sell them a bit cheaper to the people that are actually at the convention. So after the convention, you can go in and purchase their kit and you get access to it. Now, I've got the kit here, and just to give you a bit of an idea on just how amazing this kit is, what have we got? We have got a Facebook group set up specifically for one of the new range, in fact 2 of the new ranges. So one of the new ranges is called Adaptive. Now Adaptive comes in the essential oils to use aromatically, which is that one, and it comes in the soft gels to take internally, and it comes in the touch, which is pre-diluted to rub on yourself as well. There are clinical trials running on the Adaptive range. There is a Facebook group with thousands of members and hundreds of testimonials of people that have been able to change their lives. When it comes to the symptoms of anxiety and depression, it has actually blown people away and completely changed their lives. So if that's happening to you or happening to someone close to you, get onto the US and do an order and check them out and see if they help you. Balance in Australia quite helps me normally, but I did use the Adaptive range on Saturday when I had to do the talk when I was really, really nervous, and it helped me through so much. I couldn't believe how different I was. Like I wasn't shaking like I had been before. I said normally Balance helps me quite well, but that really boosted me a lot more. The other thing that they've just brought out is the turmeric. Now turmeric, yes, you can get it as a supplement in a lot of the stores, but there is nothing like this one on the market, okay? This one has got the dual chamber capsules. Look it up. There's also a Facebook group for this one as well with lots of testimonials. Turmeric is very, very good as an anti-inflammatory. So look up that because there's so many testimonials for that one as well. Now, this one's really great too. Peppermint we know is really good for digestion, but quite often peppermint can't get to the destination it needs to all the time. So, and people that take a lot of the supplements, quite often the stomach acids will break it down before it can get to the lower intestine. Whereas these ones, because of the layering of the soft gel, it actually has the strength to get through that and get to where it needs to go to help you with symptoms of IBS and bloating and all that kind of thing. Lots and lots and lots of people are recommending that one as well. Yarrow Pom has come with a body lotion range, and it's just gorgeous. It's so shiny and just glowy. It's really lovely, like the Yarrow Pom is anyway, but this is in the it's at the body, and it really smells like it's got that Yarrow Pommy kind of smell. It's really glowy. And then they have the Yarrow Pom supplements as well to take internally, which we all know the great benefits of Yarrow Pom. I don't need to go on to that about you guys because we've already got that in Australia. Now, celery seed is just being brought out. Celery seed is also very, very good to aid digestion. I was doing some cooking with this the other day. Black spruce is another new one. Citronella, which a lot of people have been waiting a very long time for citronella, so you're going to be able to spray that on yourselves, plus have it diffusing for mozzies and all the bugs. But lemon eucalyptus, that was brought into Australia, but it sold out straight away. That's also very, very good for diffusing and having on your skin as well to get rid of any bugs. Now, one last thing, when you're purchasing, when you want to use the US, because they've got some different products to us, a lot of them you can use your points for. So just like you would in Australia, some things you can use points for and other things you can't. So because we're in the one country, whatever you buy from the US, you're still going to get your points except for postage. And if you want to use your points to purchase things in the US, that's no problem too. You can do that too. So that's pretty fabulous. And if you look at it sometimes on some occasions, and you have to kind of play around with it a bit, but there are some oils that you get more bang for your buck in the US. So some of them you're better off getting from Australia, and others, when you have a look at their points value, it's actually better to get it from the US. So you'll get more oils for free in the end if you do it that way. So that's pretty amazing. Okay, and I think that's about it. I'll wrap it up. So I hope that's been helpful for you, just to give you an idea on how to do a US order. Oh, sorry, one last thing. Really, really handy hint. If you're a person that is on the Long Life Vitality range, and if you're not, please get on it. It's so good. I used to buy mine from Australia because, yes, you can buy it in Australia and that's fine. And on its own, it does work out to be cheaper in Australia because of conversion rates and postage and things like that. However, when you buy it from the US, this is how it comes up. Can you see? All right, so this is the Long Life Vitality range. And you can go ahead and you can just purchase that on its own. But as I said to you, that's probably not the best thing to do because it's cheaper in Australia. But in the US, they offer for you to have up to 3 different products, excuse me, 3 different products at approximately 50% off. So you could have 3 of one of each of those, only up to 3 products though, okay? So because I like to use the Mito 2 Max for energy, I usually stock up on Mito 2 Max. God, tickle in my throat, sorry. It's all that talking yesterday, I think. So if you go in and do that and you're getting 3 Mito 2 Max at 50% off, it makes it absolutely worth it to be buying through the US. So I do quite often, or most months, buy from the US and from Australia, because it actually works out for me cheaper to do it that way. So you will have occasions where you will have 2 templates set up and other occasions where you just have the one. So it's a matter of playing around what suits you, what kind of products you like to buy. But if you're interested in and playing around with some supplements or some different oils like the new Adaptive range, the baby line, there's amazing baby product line, the ginger, goodness, what are they called? Lozenges, the children's line, to be able to empower your child to have their own oils. That's pretty amazing. And also veggie caps as well. You can get empty veggie caps over there. There's so many things that I haven't told you about because there is just so many things. So go in and have a look, play around, and if you need any help, please contact the person that enrolled you. They'll be happy to help you, and I hope you have a great day or great evening, and namaste.